We are seeing the best setup ever for nuclear energy, both in terms of growth and demand coming from electrification and overall power consumption growth, but also on the policy and political side, this unusual bipartisan support that we're witnessing is truly providing the necessary tailwinds for the growth that we expect to see in nuclear power in the decades to come, including the tripling of nuclear energy pledge made by several countries, including the US, led by the US, which also now has the backing of financial institutions. This is unprecedented positive momentum that we're witnessing for nuclear energy. Uranium prices were too low for too long. We had a bear market that lasted almost 12 years. During this period, mines were curtailed, production operations were shut down, and the industry simply didn't make enough investment in exploration, development, and the construction of new greenfield projects. Despite the fact that we're seeing the uranium prices higher today and having appreciated threefold over the last 4 years, we simply don't have a high enough uranium price as an industry to witness new greenfield development. What this means is that higher prices are inevitable and are going to be necessary as a way of incentivizing development of new mine supply that can really help bridge the gap between consumption and production. And that gap is large right now. If we look over the next decade, it's cumulatively almost 1 billion pounds of uranium that is the production gap that needs to be met. The only way to meet that is going to be through new production initiatives globally. UEC's strategic vision has been to grow the platform of the company, the resource space and the license capacity, which is the platform that's going to enable future production growth. To acquire this during the bear market, again, we had an unusual bear market in uranium that lasted over 12 years. And UEC was the most aggressive company at the bottom of the cycle, acquiring assets, doing over $1 billion of acquisitions of idled mines, resource stage projects, and to really take maximum advantage of the bear market to establish itself as the largest player in the United States by resources and by license capacity, and a prominent player on a North American and global basis as we now enter this period of much needed uranium supplies needed to assure and provide the necessary supply chains of fuel for reactor consumption for electricity generation. So we believe that the foundation and the platform that we have created through an aggressive acquisition program now positions us very favorably, particularly in the US, the market most in need of domestic uranium supplies. And our strategic vision to now become more operational and production focused also aligns very well with US government's current administration and their policy to really support the development of American energy production. In situ recovery as a technology is one of the lowest capital intensity and low cost ways that's also environmentally friendly to produce and recover uranium. It has a multi-decade history in the United States, in states of Wyoming and Texas, exactly where UEC is currently operating. And we're looking to really benefit these very sustainable advantages that in situ recovery has to grow the production in the US. Globally, in situ recovery is responsible for half of global production. So clearly, this method of mining plays an important role. Again, not only is it low capital intensity, but it has a minimal environmental impact and footprint. And all of these really make it an ideal form of extraction at a time where the industry is just coming out of a long dated bear market. There's a shortage of skilled labor. There's a shortage of supply chains to really build mines. And so to have this more cost effective, low capital intensity way is a competitive advantage for UEC. Our projects are also fully licensed for operation and production. So as a result, we can accelerate the development on fully permitted and licensed projects using the in situ recovery method. One in every five home in America is powered by nuclear energy. We're also witnessing a period where nuclear reactor development is going to become a growth market in the US with the development of advanced and small reactors, really as an important part of the energy solution to meeting the needs of data centers and the needs of technology companies who are now becoming increasingly energy hungry. It's unbelievable to think that the US, with so much utilization of nuclear energy, is effectively 100% importing its fuel requirements. When we look at the recent National Energy Dominance Council that was created by the White House, it looks at addressing supply chain vulnerabilities of important energy commodities, exactly like the situation we have in uranium. It doesn't seem logical to us, nor does it seem that way to this administration or any administration, in fact, the previous administration, that we be dependent on state-owned companies of Russia and China for 100% effectively of our uranium needs. So it seems very much an important strategic objective, one of national security importance, to see the development and growth of that robust, healthy uranium mining, enrichment, and conversion industries really develop in this country to try to address this massive vulnerability that exists right now.